You've been texting her constantly, always initiating conversations, and being the one who keeps the connection alive. Then one day, you decide to stop. You put your phone down and focus on your own life. What happens next will surprise you, and understanding the psychology behind her response will completely change how you approach relationships with women. Most men believe that if they stop talking to a woman, she'll simply move on and forget about them. This couldn't be further from the truth. When you suddenly withdraw your attention from a woman who's grown accustomed to receiving it, her mind goes through a predictable psychological process that often leads to behaviors most men never expect. The first thing that happens is what psychologists call the curiosity gap. When your consistent communication pattern suddenly changes, her brain automatically tries to fill in the missing information. She starts wondering why you stopped reaching out, what you're doing, and whether something happened. This curiosity creates mental preoccupation that actually makes her think about you more than when you were constantly available. Here's where female psychology gets interesting. Women are naturally wired to notice changes in relationship dynamics much more acutely than men. When you stop initiating contact, she immediately recognizes the shift in power balance. The person who was once pursuing her attention has suddenly become unavailable, and this triggers what researchers call the scarcity principle in her mind. After a few days of silence, most women will start checking your social media activity more frequently. She wants to see if you're okay, if you're talking to other people, or if there are clues about why you stopped reaching out. This digital detective work is her way of gathering information without directly asking you what's happening. The psychology behind this behavior involves something called loss aversion. Humans naturally fear losing something they had more than they appreciate gaining something new. When your attention disappears, she starts valuing what she lost more than she valued it when she had it consistently. This mental shift often leads to her initiating contact for the first time in weeks or months. Many women will test the waters with casual messages that seem unrelated to your silence. She might send you a funny meme, ask about something you mentioned weeks ago, or create an excuse to start a conversation. These seemingly innocent messages are actually her way of checking if you're still interested, without appearing needy or desperate. Here's what most men don't realize about the female mind during no-contact periods. She starts romanticizing your past interactions and remembering the positive aspects of your connection more vividly. The absence of new negative or mundane interactions allows her memory to focus on the highlights, making you appear more attractive in retrospect. If she was taking your attention for granted before, your silence forces her to confront the possibility that you might not always be available. This realization often triggers what psychologists call reactance theory, where people desire something more when they perceive their access to it is threatened or restricted. The most common response is that she'll eventually reach out with increased enthusiasm and engagement. Her messages become longer, more personal, and show genuine interest in reconnecting. This isn't manipulation on her part, it's a natural psychological response to the perceived loss of a positive connection in her life. Some women will even become more flirtatious, or suggest meeting up when you stop initiating contact. The dynamic shift makes her work for your attention instead of passively receiving it, which often increases her investment in the interaction and her attraction toward you. The key lesson here is understanding the power of strategic withdrawal. When you stop being constantly available, you force others to value your presence and actively participate in maintaining the relationship. This creates healthier, more balanced dynamics where both people contribute to the connection. Remember, this isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone. It's about understanding human psychology and creating relationships where both parties invest equally in maintaining the connection. If this insight into female psychology, when you stop talking, helped you understand relationship dynamics better, smash that like button and subscribe for more psychology-based relationship advice. Comment below with your own experiences of what happened when you stopped initiating, and share this video with anyone who needs to understand the power of strategic absence.